Hey guys, it's me again, Zach. And today we have another show from the junior high days. Screech and Lisa still look weird.
What? What is with this overlit, Belding-infused Zach intro? Moving along. It's Harvest Week, so that means practical jokes are in season. Fan service! Sorry, what? He's underage in this episode? I need to reevaluate my life. Miss Bliss has never been pranked in her 11 years. And she's not getting caught today.
What's going on? We're getting Miss Bliss. Think she'll fall for it? Absolutely not.
It becomes apparent that her students have not done their homework regarding the U.S. judicial system. Fortunately, she has a chart for just such an occasion. Foiled again, fools!
Only a fool would fall for one of these.
Miss Bliss!
I love seeing Belding bamboozled as much as the next yokel, but what are the physics here? At no point does the string go taut to pull the bucket down. It's actually not until the door is closing and the string gets looser that the trap is tripped.
Let me rephrase that.
Did anyone else get some Russell Brand vibes there?
Well, I've done some research.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay, so now it's lunch, and a now dry Belding is worried about more pranks.
Mr. Belding, will you just relax? You're being paranoid.
I'm not paranoid.
You should be, what with that creepy brochure in the bushes.
I think you're overreacting.
Oh, am I? Last year they stole my hamburger and glued my buns together.
Which made him both hungry and unable to poop. Well, joke's on Mr. Belding, because he abandons his lunch to mac on Miss Bliss's coleslaw, which was spiked with chili powder. He attempts to cool his mouth with her tomato juice, but it was spiked with Tabasco sauce. Oh, you darn kids! So now the question is, if it hadn't been for Mr. Belding's paranoia, would Miss Bliss have eaten her own spicy, prankified lunch? The next day in class, it happens. Miss Bliss falls victim to a prank.
All right. Now look. I am going to go and change my sweater. If the guilty party hasn't come forward by the time I come back, the whole class will be punished.
While she's out changing her sweater, Screech unwittingly confesses to the prank in order to claim the accolades of being the first to fool Miss Bliss. Miss Bliss returns, not so much having changed her sweater, but just taking it off. Screech sees the trouble he's in and pleads his innocence. Miss Bliss says the matter will be handled like a trial.
You'll find the guidelines for the trial in chapters 6 and 7 of your textbooks. Samuel, your peers will decide your fate.
Is it possible to get a new set of peers?
And I have a note to insert a joke about minorities and juries here. The trial begins the next day.
I would like to begin by putting the defendant at ease. Samuel, if you're innocent, as you say you are, trust in the system. It works.
And I have another note to insert a joke about the court system failing minorities here.
Oh, Lord! This racism is killing me inside.
I'd like to call a surprise witness. Lisa Turtle. Me? I didn't know you were going to call me. That's why they call it a surprise.
Actually, a surprise witness like this would typically only happen in an emergency hearing, which we assume this is not. Ugh. I've worked in the law for too many years to enjoy media representations of court settings. Court isn't fun and sexy, at least not to non-lawyers. I'll try to keep my disdain in check. And here's an important shot. All eyes on sexy secretary as she leaves. Hey, look! It's Tina and Milo in a non-related scene so that they can have something to do in the episode.
The contract also states that you need 1.5 men for this job. Don't do a thing. Now be right back with Shorty Beeman.
You may be thinking, Milo and Tina make up 2 people. That meets the guidelines. Maybe. But taking the historical treatment of women and blacks into account, Tina is really only worth 7/10 of a man, while Milo is only 3/5. So even together, they are just shy of 1.5 men. I guess they do need Shorty Beeman's help. Sorry for that dead space there. I just went to verify that I took my social justice vitamins this morning. Hello, Milo. Mr. Belding tries to get sneaky. He puts glue on his secretary's phone to prank Miss Bliss.
That don't make no sense.
Miss Bliss summons Mr. Belding to appear in her class court. The phone rings, and Mr. Belding's plan fails miserably. Until it doesn't. At least it didn't happen to the hot secretary. Mr. Belding is, sworn in, and Zach goes to work.
Now, Mr. Belding, how well do you know the defendant?
Not very well.
Would you say that because he's never been sent to your office for disciplinary action?
That's correct.
Remember that time that Screech set his rats loose and almost lost Miss Bliss that Teacher of the Year award? Because that was a pretty big deal to you. And could we not afford to do another take here? Someone both laughed and coughed during Zach's lines.
Now, Mr. Belding. Now, Mr. Belding. For office for disciplinary action?
That's
For
correct.
office for disciplinary action?
That's correct.
Nikki assassinates Belding's character, and then breaks character trying to introduce new evidence.
I object. Your Honor, nobody gave her permission to go into Screech's locker. Under our 4th Amendment, we're protected against illegal search and seizure.
Holy farts, he's right. It's the next day. Wait, what? This is the 3rd day for this television trial, and I have to wonder what else they are doing in this presumptively 50-minute class. Zach calls Screech to the stand, and then Nikki starts the cross-examination.
And that's why you went to your locker that day, isn't it? To get something to pull off your vicious, practical joke.
I'd rather not say, but thanks for asking.
Please answer the question.
Objection. Your Honor, I cite Chapter 7 of our textbook, the 5th Amendment. The defendant has a right not to incriminate himself.
Sustained.
Actually, the 5th Amendment says that no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Also, Zach opened Screech up for questioning. They can't selectively plead the 5th now. 8th graders, am I right? Nikki and Zach both make their closing arguments by crapping all over Screech. Mikey then reads the verdict from the jury.
The jury finds the defendant, Samuel Powers, not guilty on lack of evidence.
So if Screech didn't do it, who did?
You pulled the prank on yourself?
That's right, and you blind knuckleheads could have guessed as much when you saw that she had a different chair.
No one was paying any attention in my class. And I figured this was the only way that I could get you to study those chapters on our judicial system.
Yeah, but what if they didn't?
I feel so used.
So, the status quo remains. Miss Bliss has never fallen for a prank.
Stupid thing.
There's just one thing that bothers me, though. Since I painted the chair, why did you take the 5th? Here, let me...
Got him! Got him!
Is it possible to get a new set of peers?